guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want us to discuss something really interesting. When you go out with someone for the first date, of course you're trying to understand them better. You want to know them, you want to know what they like, you want to know what their hobbies is. You definitely want to understand them better. And in that process, there are questions you definitely need to avoid. So today we look at the most annoying questions to ask on the first date. Okay, welcome. The first question you want to avoid is, when we get married, how will you? When we get married, how will you? When you start talking about getting married, you're definitely sending an indirect proposal. Yes, you're proposing. You don't need to mean it, you don't mean to say it, but you don't need to assume that you two, it's the first date, you don't need to assume that you will get married. Okay, it's one thing asking someone if they want to get married in future, and it's another thing assuming that you're definitely gonna get married. So you need to avoid saying, when you get married, this is what you're gonna do. When you get married, this is like you're planning. No, avoid that. Number two, if you are a man and you're out on the first date with a lady, you need to avoid, when is your period? Yes, that's an annoying question actually to most ladies. You don't want to ask them when their periods is. Why do you want to know? Do you want to carry some tampons for them or something? So avoid asking when is your period. Let's keep things in the context, okay? Avoid that. The other question you really need to avoid on the first date is, how is your sex life? You're meeting that stranger for the first time, is the first date, then you start asking them how their sex life is. My friend, why are you asking? You want to rectify it on something, so it's always not okay to ask about someone else's sex life, at least not on that stage. So keep things as casual as possible, but don't ask how your sex life is. Can I eat your food? You're on the first date. You want to jump into someone's pasta for the first time, a stranger. You want to start eating my food? No, that's not right. Okay? You're on the first date. Eat your food. Order what you like. Order what you want. Don't start jumping into someone else's food. That's also a early stage, a really early stage for that. Number 5, stop talking about your hobbies. Okay, don't assume if you love sports, blah blah blah, you start speaking about sports on the first date. Avoid talking about your hobbies. Swimming, you might be talking about maybe sports and the other partner is not interested in sports. So please, let's avoid the blah 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 sports and your hobbies. The other person doesn't really care. Just ask before jumping into details of discussing your hobbies. Okay, because you might find out you have spoke for 5 minutes and the other person is not even understanding what you're talking about. This one is PG, parental guidance is recommended, highly recommended. Do you masturbate? That's really an off question to ask on the first date. It really sounds weird, does it? Yeah. For me it sounds like a joke, but seriously, even if it's a joke, no, don't bring it at that stage. Don't ask if the other partner masturbates or not, at least not at that point. Can I bring a friend along? No, it's the first date. You're meeting someone for the first time. Why do you want to go with a friend? Go alone. Meet that person alone. You'll get to know each other. Next time you can bring whoever you want, but the first date, always go alone. And if it's a man or a lady who has invited you, you don't want them to go into an extra cost of covering someone else's bill. Okay, that was not the plan. Go as you are. Finally, the other question you really want to avoid on the first date is, how much do you earn? Unless you had a discussion from the beginning about work and they told you their profession and it got into details. But just bumping into a question and start asking, for me, doesn't seem right. Maybe they don't even work and you start asking you, or maybe they may feel intimidated. Okay, So it's always wrong to ask someone how they are on the first date. That's what I think. Those are the questions I think you should avoid on the first date. Tell me what you think. Tell me the questions you do not want anyone to ask you on the first date. Keep it here. Thank you for subscribing. See you.